Hello there. I don't want to sound conceited, and I probably will saying this first line, and I do have notes, and I will refer to them again as usual because I think this topic is important. So I don't have an ego problem really, but I think that if I were president, I would do many things, have veto power, and help the people more than what's happening now. And the first thing that I wrote, but I would do away with payday loans and high interest from finance companies and banks. Payday loans, especially, charging 300 or more percent on your money if you take a loan out and never pay it back and pay 6 times over what you should be paying back. Try a credit union or Germain Bank is a good idea where they actually loan money to poor people and poor people pay them back with a little interest or less interest, certainly than 300%. The banks and finance companies are also charging too much, I think. Uh, so, away with payday loans and high interest from finance and banks. Number one, that's what I listed. The second thing is bribery, which I call bribery. Paying politicians, PACs especially, people on Capitol Hill are getting paid to do favors. And I think it should be against the law to pay any politician any amount of money to run for office. You're buying the office so you can get extra things that you want from them. Don't tell me that you don't give them money to get stuff back. It's an ongoing practice and it's getting worse. The Supreme Court recently, in fact, said it was okay for corporations to pay billions and trillions of dollars. Oh, can't understand why they would do that. It should go the opposite way. It should be unethical to pay anybody any amount for any office for any reason. They don't have to need money to pay for their election. If they're a good candidate and they do good things, they can be elected. I ran for office, I should know, by the way, here in Missouri. So this is not an overwhelming thing. Everybody's really upset with that concept. I think certainly I am. And so away with paying for political office. It's not necessary. PACs and anyway. They should also have free airtime. All people who run for office should be able to have one commercial, not 30 commercials, one commercial per office on the air for free to say what they think and how they feel. And that's it. We don't need constant, repetitious BS from all candidates that are running and then trying to get your vote and saying what you want to hear. It's ridiculous. The air, as far as I know, is still free. Thank you very much. Unless they put cap on that, too. Uh, Now then, homes and the people being evicted. I think that the people that have been evicted, if they wish to refinance their home, should go to a credit union or a reputable finance company, get a new loan with low finance, and re-establish their home, get back in their house, and I have a plan on how they might pay for that even. But they need to get their home back, and I suggest a credit union. I happen to belong to one, and I think it's wonderful. I'm sorry, we have two cats here and they're playing, so if you hear a little noise, it's the cats. I can make a lot of noise too, but I hope I am getting to you. So people should go back into their homes, refinance, as I said. Um, there are so many empty, there in this neighborhood, which is not very many homes or people for that matter. We're a tiny town. there are at least 5 or 6 empty homes that have been empty with no one living in them ever for over 20 years. I can't understand the reasoning. And then there are people homeless. So if you get the two together, maybe. And then, of course, in Springfield, they are against building homeless shelters because not in my backyard. You know, I don't want them there. Well, what if you were one of them? You would want someplace to stay, right? Yes. Okay. Universal health care. I'm really trying to take this slow, and I forgot to push the stopwatch, so I have no idea how long I'm going to be talking, so we'll see. Universal health care should be for everyone, like Medicare. And there's no reason not to do that. Canada has it. I forgot the name of it. There's 7 different countries that have universal health care, and they're not suffering. It's the AMA that's giving the problem, and they're ultra rich and they want to get richer. So Obamacare is just half the battle. It should be universal health care, period, for everyone, from birth to death. Nowadays, 2 people must work in order to provide food and housing and all the utilities and care. Meanwhile, the CEOs of the corporations and the banks and Wall Street are getting billions of dollars for doing nothing, and the workers are getting almost living wages, and almost, I said, they're still on food stamps, and I have a perfect example of a young man right back of us who has 2 children and has a job, and he's had for over 10 years. He's still on minimum wage. He's on food stamps, and his wife stays home to take care of the kids. Now, if she was working, maybe they would be a little bit further ahead. A little bit. They need living wages so they can actually take care of their children and have good food and provide. I mean, that's what the 99%, I believe, wish to provide basic necessities for their family. I don't think there's anything more important, including war, which I will get to. Okay, the tax situation is incredibly upsetting to me, which the rich, over $250,000, is way beyond my possible conception of having that much money, but those people who get that much money should pay taxes. No offshore accounts, no tax write-offs. One tax for all. And Jack actually has this embargo tax shipping, and which he will explain at some point, I'm sure. I'm not good at using his words, but as far as the CEOs and the corporate executive, right, and the banks and the finance, and even the president, multi-million dollars a year for what? More homes, more cars, more boats, airplanes. I would be happy just to feed my children, right? Wouldn't you? Make more money. Let the CEOs pay taxes. Have them, the rich, help the tax people that are taxed so heavily that they can't live. And they want to die, and they want to rob banks, and they want to commit crimes so they can have a life. Okay. Now, the last little item down here, I believe, just checking my notes, are the troops in war, which I am opposed. I am opposed to war and killing and guns and violence. But the people, all of the war, all of the people fighting the wars, and that's plural, all over, from the United States, should come home and start rebuilding the infrastructure, the homes that are dilapidated, the buildings that are falling down, the infrastructure. They need to build They don't have a job. They're still getting paid because they have pensions in Army, Navy, Marine. They still are getting paid. They can come home and work for the same money that they're getting paid for killing people. Having them come home and go to work. Now that includes people on unemployment, and those who want to work can find jobs in doing painting, reconstruction, paving the roads, cleaning the area, mowing grass. I mean, you don't just sit around and wait for a job you had 2 or 3 or 4, whatever, years ago that you were making an incredible amount of money, because there is no such thing anymore. You need to find something else to do. And I know the trade schools are there, but they charge too much money, I think, to reestablish yourself, and they don't offer, as far as I can tell, very many jobs. They say they're going to give you a job, and they take your money, but I don't see people working very much. So in order to find a job, in order to have a job and make money, again, you need to reestablish your position in life and your work. Find a job doing something creative in your neighborhood. And if you can't get paid, you volunteer, because you're going to be sitting on the computer or in front of the TV, and that's not a really good thing. You can actually, even if you have a small, I know one girl in New Jersey, actually, I'm changing the subject a little bit, but I know a gal in New Jersey that was growing her own herbs and spices right on outside her windowsill. So, as they say, when there's a will, there's a way. And there is a way to make changes. So this part, by the way, of what I might do if I were in that place to do it. Think about it really thoughtfully and let me know what you think. Please. Woman's View at AOL.com. Thank you for listening and considering some of these things. I hope the President might hear me. The Supreme Court does not listen. They're for the rich also. And it needs to be changed. That's another topic altogether. We'll go into justice someday. Justice for all, not just for a few. Thanks again. See you again next time.